that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it. It is a straight
It's
thing.
the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know? And they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and look at him trying to cover it up. It's hilarious. And, you know, and I'm sick of, hold on a second. You know what they're trying to do? Ooh, this thing is buzzing. Hold on. They're trying to turn us into, you know, consumer drones of some sort. Hold on, I just got to get this.
And yeah.
Yeah, listen, I'm in the middle of blowing the lid off some.
What happened?
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I was temporarily interrupted by my iPhone 6 Plus.
That's a big one, huh?
5.5 heads-up HD display. I think what I was really trying to say was I think people really enjoyed Dumb and Dumber this weekend.
And that is what I thought you were about to say.
They should all go to the theater. They should all go to the theater tomorrow and see it.
They should.
Because we could use a good laugh. Ha, 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 ha.
Okay, we're recording. State plan of origin? Okay, yesterday you told us you traveled, and I quote, thousands of light years to get here. Yes. Tell us the truth or the word or another reader. It is truth. Or from off. From future. So I take it aliens took over our future, right? So you're human. Okay, so you evolved from us. So what are you doing here now? How? Okay, so how about we concentrate on your time? Try me. Wait, so you know the meaning of life? What's the difference? So you know how the universe is created? So you think God? Okay, illuminate us. What happens when we die? understand first. You will experience, or have experienced, a full instant of so-called life. Our entrances into sadness, separated by what you call death.
Okay, so let me get this straight. There's no death, and we all experience each other's lives, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how was the universe created, and why is it so perfectly made for us? Moving on. Okay, so why do we destroy ourselves with nuclear war? Can you be more specific, please? Okay, one last thing. What about morality? What do you base your morality on? I see. Okay.
Everything they teach you in school is a lie. You want the truth? The world is controlled by shadowy elites and shape-shifting lizard people.
Let's talk about reptoids. Be sure to follow these do's and don'ts to avoid a diplomatic incident. Do offer them a cricket, mouse, or vole out of your pocket. Fun fact about voles? A vole ate my father. Don't use loaded phrases like hissy fit or see you later, alligator.
Got it. Be respectful. So when do we talk about the orgies?
Oh, come on.
What? Everyone knows reptoids have orgies.
This is an HR meeting.
Andre, Mike, shut the hell up or I will castrate you.
Ha! Good luck figuring out which one of my tentacles is a dick. Trick question. It's all of them.
I'm deciding this is okay. Oh God, this is an orgy, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Oh, gavel. Give me the gavel. Give me the gavel.
This is it. It's happening.
Oh, hello, HR. Who's ready for some gross misconduct?
I'm sorry, sir, but you tested positive for iguanorrhea.
Motherfucker!
I wasn't done. Iguanorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, scabies, explosive cloaca disease. Oh yeah, and mushroom herpes.
Wait, what was that last one?
Reagan, you're the life of this party. That's the most natural smile I've ever seen out of Mark Zuckerberg.
So the song Shake It Off was about how I shed my skin every 1,000 years. And the song Bad Blood was about how I drink blood out of my Grammys.
A toast to blood.
Save some blood for Paul Rudd.
I gave you my kidney.
And it was delicious.
Reagan, meet my favorite reptoid zentitives, Barb Shrike and Zarthax Griswold Walton of the Reptoid High Council.
Good evening, your lizardness.
Oh, we're not that important. It's not like we control the world.
All rise for the reptilian anthem.
Let's get down to business. We reptoids have had a great decade. Thanks to propaganda in the media, we have made society more tolerant of our kind, from the Geico gecko to the shape of water. We even got K-Rool in Smash! We did it, everyone! The world temperature is rising. The time is coming, brethren. Soon we shall fulfill the prophecy, overthrow humanity, and become the true rulers
of the world!
They say that every year, but they're never gonna do it.
Understand something, family. Most of these celebrities are recycled. They recycle DNA and transfer consciousness. Inbreeding is important to them to keep their bloodlines strong. Majority of these big celebrities are related, and they don't want you to know that. Even all of the presidents are related, but that's a topic for another video.
I guess it was a little bit of a ceremony for Elvis. This was Rapid City, South Dakota. Here you see Elvis being presented with a plaque and the Medallion of Life from a little girl. Her name is easy to find online, but I didn't want to put it out here on this video. It's a little bit weird to have your name associated with this, and she is still alive. And let me just say right up front, I do not believe she is a shapeshifter. Now, let's get into the weirdness. Elvis is about to accept the Medallion of Life from the little girl. He's going to lean in, give her a kiss. Everything seems pretty normal up until this point. You'll see some pictures here in a moment, but then about here, things get a little strange. So now we're going to go through a series of pictures where you see the little girl have a range of emotions, and then right about here, she sees something wrong as he pulls away. What does she see? Well, we're all about to see it for ourselves as he stands up and looks at the camera right here. What's weird is somehow the guy holding the microphone misses this part, but here very soon he's going to notice something that is amiss. I think that'll be right about here, and he looks a little disturbed. After seeing this, he quickly walks away and then acts like nothing ever happened. Look at his face. Yikes. You also see a couple of Elvis's men seeing everything as it happens. One of them steps in front of the camera. The other man goes directly for the eye that was just melting. Here we go again, in real time. See Elvis's guy step in front of the camera right here. Then the other guy goes right for the eye. He saw exactly what happened. That's the only way to explain him going right onto the eye. Now you start to see some other weirdness around Elvis's face. Looks like he's getting holes around his eyes. Now, people will tell you, no, those were just dark circles under his eyes. You know, have you ever seen this phenomenon before? And also, look.
Most reported abduction experience for decades has been the alien gray experience. This experience includes what look like deformed humans with advanced technology, abducting people to take genetic samples, and even put implants into abductees to communicate with them or track them. The majority of experiences also include what many experiencers call the hybridization program. The hybridization program is where these gray humanoids try to merge their genetics with humanity's.
Now check out this clip from AHS.
You don't look very well, Jack.
Because I'm not well. I can't understand how a sitting president, once the supreme allied commander in Europe, could make such a treaty, allowing Americans to be abducted, experimented on.
Are you implying that President Eisenhower somehow...
5,000 people a year. It's a small number whose sacrifice ensures the safety of 190 million Americans.
And with the technology that we are getting in exchange, we will dominate the world.
And that's what this is about. Our dominance.
Well, of course, Jack. What else is there?
Another shit that cracked me up. White people say they don't believe in aliens till you ask them who built the pyramids. Aliens. Then ask them any other time. There's no such thing as aliens, crazy nigger. They just don't want to believe a black man designed something that they can't fuck with to this day. You understand me? You know how we built the pyramids? You ever play in the sandbox? You gotta ask a simple question. Just always flip the script. What if up is down and down is up? What if you look down into space standing up on Earth? This is how we built the pyramids. You play in the sandbox. It's easy to move a mountain of sand into position. Once you wet sand, it holds its form like concrete. You put the first brick at the apex of this motherfucker, all right? You move sand out of this corner and that corner and place bricks there on both sides all the way to the top. Now you let the sand dry out and drop that brick right through that bitch. Sand under pressure when it's dry moves like fluid. That's why you always find viaducts in all of the motherfucking pyramids, so the sand can shoot the fuck out the bitch. Now you have a hollow cosm. And it's built into the ground in the same specs. It's not really a pyramid, it's a diamond. It is now topped off by quartz, and at the bottom is topped off by quartz. When moonlight comes through, it refracts off of the quartz in the bottom, the first refracting laser, illuminating the night sky, which is why they called Pharaoh God, because he could turn night into day. Thus the all-seeing eye on your dollar bill above the pyramid. Because the only part of the human body made out of quartz is a human eye. When it dries out, it's small granules of quartz. That's why light transfers through it. Holla at your boy.
5 alleged reptilian humanoids caught shape-shifting on camera. Part 1. The last clip seriously got me WTF. Katy Perry. Reptilian bodyguard. Britney Spears. News reporter.
Arrested here back on September 18th. Now keep in mind, this is the family story, their account of what they see happened here on campus earlier this month. Unfortunately, we weren't able to reach the school district for comment.
Wake up, sheeple. They're everywhere.
They're losing their jobs. Okay,
Yes.
I'm done now. We can go to Jenna.
Jenna Bush is awaiting us right now.
Sorry, Jenna. It's okay.
Jenna knows all about these primaries and things. First twin daughter, or whatever we call Jenna. First of all, Jenna, you have written a book called Anna. You've been doing the press thing. You've been doing interview after interview after
Yes. interview. Yes.
How do you feel? Are there any surprises for you in this whole thing that you're doing?
No, I mean, it's been really great. I'm traveling to different high schools throughout the United States and talking with teenagers and students about Anna and the other kids I met in Latin America. And so far, it's been really inspiring.
And not unpleasant. I mean,
But we'll change all that.
No, we're not going to change that.
Don't change it, please.
We will not change it. We will not.
She obviously hasn't seen the show. People have been nice, and they're not attacking your dad or his policies to you. Yeah, no, I mean, everybody realizes that this is about Anna's story and what I've learned in Latin America.
Yeah. Now,
What did you learn? Well, I met with my job. I worked for UNICEF, which is an amazing organization that works in over 150 countries. And my job was to meet with teenagers who were living in exclusion, who were living in extreme poverty or living with HIV, and write their stories, listen to their stories and write them for UNICEF. And so, I mean, I obviously learned so much from these kids. I learned from Anna in particular, who has lived an extremely difficult life. I learned to live each day to its fullest.
Excuse me, Jenny. There's a word you used earlier in the interview about exclusion. Can you explain what that is?
Well, a lot of the kids I met, I mean, exclusion is a broad term, obviously, but the kids I met were living in extreme poverty. They didn't have access to medical care or education, schooling. They were living with HIV, and so they were living outside of society's embrace.
I think doing any kind of missionary work, I think, really changes a person. And you and your sister.
Good evening, Ozzy.
What?
Good evening, Ozzy.
Hello there.
How are you?
Fine.
Ozzy, first of all, it has been rumored that you have bitten off the heads of doves, bats, dogs, everything. We want to set the record straight. What head did you really bite?
Well, in actual fact, if you want me to be funny, I bit my own head off. But in actual fact, some guy went at one gig on the last tour threw a bat on stage, and every night we do a gig, you get all these crazy people that come and throw this junk on stage, and and I thought it was one of these rubber bats. I picked it up, and it was a real bat.
Was it alive?
Well, it was till I bit the head off it,
Yes. The next thing we want to get out of the way...
You can't say anything about that now, can you?
Well, sure, you can say anything you want.
I mean, the taste of bats is very salty.
Y'all, check this shit out. Look what I found. Look at your boy fingers. Look at your boy fingers. Yo, that's a lizard. That is a reptilian being, alright? And they're among us. They're everywhere. All in Hollywood, all in Georgia, all in Arizona, just all the fucking states, all in different countries. You got them in the Asians called the Dracos, the Draconians. You get what I'm saying? They're in Russia. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Look at him lifting up his hands. What the fuck he doing out there? What the fuck is you doing out there? His hands don't glitch back to humans because you know why? Human fingers, because they cannot walk among us. I don't know if y'all ever played that game Among Us. This what the fuck this is. That game Among Us is what the fuck this is right here today. Do you understand me? Fucking aliens, fucking people from other fucking planes of existence. Different ponds. Alright? Gotta remember, Earth is not a ball. Earth is a pond on a flat plane that's encased in a dome. Alright? And they come from different places. Alright? Fucking reptilians are among us.
We can... He's took your clothes. Okay, give me a second. Have you got a phone?
Is there anything around here we can, like, guys, is this a joke? No, I swear to God.
Serious? What girl have we had the chance to bring here in the car with us and a fucking box?
I thought you might come here before me. You honestly think we'd lock someone in a fucking box?
And then disappear and come and pick you up an hour and a half away from home and then bring you back?
We need to find something.
Right, give us a second. We'll see what we can find. Go and find something for box to open the box. Go and find something to open the box. Yeah.
See if there's any like crowbar.
Bear with us. We're looking for something to get the box open. It's got a padlock on it.
That won't do it.
Something worth it. Go and look for some inside.
I've got a screwdriver in the fucking bag.
Okay, give it here. Give it here. Give it here.
Got this on. Screw it.
Bear with.
There we go.
It may work. Oh, there's fucking...
Take the things off. Undo the fucking screws.
They're too tight. I think they're too tight. Try and go. Whilst I'm trying to do it, someone go find a crowbar or something. They're too tight. Go and find some sort of crowbar or something.
Shit. Look for something like long, basically.
Ah, fuck. You got some in? Have you got some in? Oh yeah, okay. Right, stay away from the lock as possible, as much as possible.
What's your camera, Lewis?
Fuck. Sam, can you hold that for me? Become my cameraman. Yeah, alright, we're trying to smash the lock off, don't worry. I don't think it's gonna work.
No, the Brett's not too gritty. What the fuck? The brick's just chipping away.
I know. Get the gun. I don't know what to suggest. Oh shit. Ah. Good camera.
We've got. What the fuck?
Wait, go and look on the floor for a key or something.
Oh, hang on, do you not want me to film this for you? You take this then at least.
1 second. Alex, give me that. Right, you got it?
Yeah. No. He won't be anywhere. Yeah, good plan. What the fuck? Oh, we've got one off.
The moon is simply a supercomputer, a satellite that was constructed outside of Earth's atmosphere as a monitoring and mediating device.
Telling you that the moon is real when in actuality it is very fake and it is an inorganic artificial light placed in the sky by the negative ETs to siphon energy to keep the lower dimensional world operating. If every
Proselenes means before the moon. These were a people the ancient Greeks referred to as having been living here before the moon had arrived. You know, they were spoken of in ancient texts by Aristotle, Plutarch, and many, many others. They were very widely disseminated. And they lived in the mountainous region of Greece called Arcadia. And they claimed this land for the very reason that their forefathers were there before there was a moon in the heavens. And these ancient records say that the moon came into orbit somewhere between 11,500 and 13,000 years ago.
Every time I look at the moon, I'm just like, man, that shit looks eerier and eerier. Every time I look at the fucking moon now, I'm like, yeah, that shit definitely is a mega structure for sure. It just sits there like a spying ball. Ain't no way in fuck that shit is just a moon. It definitely is a giant alien base. Quote unquote true humans, because, come on, man. Every time I look at the moon now, it just looks creepier and creepier because it's just like a giant eyeball watching the Earth. We only see one side of the moon, it doesn't rotate. It helps the gravitational pull. It has the correct gravitational pull and the right mathematics.
Now, almost every Navy officer, whether they're a 1-star or a lieutenant commander, they've all been through Annapolis to learn how to be a Navy officer. It turns out Forrestal is told that every book in the libraries, every book in the colleges, every book in the universities, every book on this planet is misinformation. It's misinformation. So, which is initiated by the Draco reptilians as far back as 6,000 years ago.
The reptilians really came into control and started to be able to manipulate what was going on the face of the planet about 6,000 to 7,000 years ago. It is true that they have different masking technologies to be able to be in a room and look like a human, but usually they're in underground bases in various places on the globe, as well as in a huge area in Antarctica. The southeast region has a large number of underground caverns that are kept extremely warm, too warm for humans, by geothermal heat. It's a perfect place for all of these colonies that the reptilians have. They're basically cities, huge cities with
There is a noticeable absence of notions such as bad or good. Their ethic code is rather based upon what is useful and logical and what is not. Because of this reason, these peaceful beings will take part willingly in many different alliances. In a common abduction scenario, the mantis are generally seen as overseers. A mantis being will be accompanied by several small gray extraterrestrial species, such as the Zeta Reticuli. The mantis are commonly involved in abductions that both include medical procedures and instances of interrogations. However, some return from their experiences with the mantis with a darker point of view, stating that the mantis wished to conquer and control Earth rather than aid of its human ascension, and they believe that the mantis are a part of a hybridization program currently taking place to use human DNA to create new species.
The phenomenon known as shapeshifting is very real. What is happening is that the person, and often is not, but not always, but often is not, these people have clairvoyant abilities anyway. For example, there are certain types of clairvoyance that can see the reptilian entity overshadowing the host person, but everyone else in the room will not be able to see that. But a certain type of psychic can see that. And like I said, it's not just reptilians hosting people. They can see a mantis being. Some people, we call them a collective, because more than one type of entity takes them up as hosts. So it's confusing for the psychic. One moment there's a mantis being, next there's a reptilian, next there's a Draco. What's happening with the shape-shifting is the morphogenetic blueprint resonance within the person's DNA, within the shapeshifter's DNA, is imbued with this reptilian DNA. And under certain conditions, maybe weariness, maybe the person is on illicit or legal drugs, maybe the person is agitated, maybe the person is very angry, maybe the location itself is a very dimensional vortex-ridden type place. All of the above can contribute to somebody shape-shifting.
While serving in Germany, Tony had woken up in the barracks one morning and turned over onto his side, only to see at the bottom of his bed a 6 to 7 foot reptilian humanoid being. That's how he described it. Now, what was interesting about this, there were a couple of things that are really interesting about it, is that one, Tony described it as partially see-through, and two, he also described a look of surprise on its face that Tony could actually see it. What's interesting about this particular account as well is that Tony described it as wearing a small metallic belt that consisted of 12 cylinders, 12 metallic cylinders, about 2 inches in length. And he got the feeling that this piece of tech had something to do with this creature's ability to, if you like, jump dimensions. Because after about a minute of staring at each other, Tony's in shock, the reptilian sort of weighing up the situation, he said, it just faded away to nothing. And he assumed, that this belt had something to do with that.
What we're thinking of as aliens are they're extra dimensional beings. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now aren't.
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
It's very clear to me that some of your thinking is confused. And I think that you need some treatment for that will unravel that.
The reptilians were the natives of this planet. And back during the first ice age, they went underground. And that's how they ended up surviving. So the Galactic Federation knew this, that this was indeed their planet. So they made a compromise with these reptilians. And they said, okay, we recognize that this is your planet. As long as you stay here, but you're not seen, and you go back underground, we'll allow you to be here. So half the reptilians left off this planet, the other half stayed. And they went back into their tunnels, they went back into inner Earth, they went back underground. And eventually the reptilians started meshing their DNA with our DNA. They started to be able to shapeshift into us. They abided by the law. They definitely weren't seen by us, but they were still always in control, and I still believe to this day they're in control.
Extraterrestrial reptilians. The powers that be know that within the DNA of certain people are latent metaphysical powers. These reptilians are able to access and exploit those metaphysical abilities. We are resonators. We're resonators of frequency. We're resonators of emotions. They feed off of emotions, negative emotions in particular. Reptilians are masters of frequency and resonance. They can alter their density. They can be invisible in the visible spectrum. They have lived here all along, and the deep black elements of the military aerospace community are aware of this and have been for a long time.
One of the most witnessed shapeshifter in present day is Queen Elizabeth. And there are, like, what I've read as far as like blogs and articles and different things from England is there are thousands of calls every single year for every appearance that she makes of like, oh my God, like, am I losing my mind? Do I need to go visit a hospital? But like, I swear I just saw Queen Elizabeth as like a 10-foot tall lizard. You know what I mean? Like, these are just people who are just out there waving the flag, watching Queenie just walking by, and they literally see her in her true form, which I think is really fascinating.
The reptilians were the first colonists on this world. They, for all intents and purposes, own this planet, and that's how they still think. And they are still here. Of course, they were colonizing a continent called Lemuria, which no longer exists. They went underground or into the inner earth, and then they started coming up during the Sumerian times, interbreeding, hybridizing the population so that there's a human and reptilian genetics in all of us. Each one of us has reptilian genetics. And you can see this as a fetus develops in the womb. During the first few weeks of existence, the fetus is an androgynous reptilian, and only then is mammalian genetics opened up in it, proving a hybridization.
The Greys is one of the few alien extraterrestrials that have a contract with our governments. And in that contract, they are able to abduct as many human people as they want to so that they can start breeding again. They're breeding with the human race. There are hundreds and thousands of people that go missing every year, and we have no clue where they went. And part of the reason is because scientists and governments around the world are allowing the Greys to breed with the human race to make a crossbreed race. Now, the leaders of our countries are said to be reptilian people, and that's why they keep making all these contracts with the reptilian people. And in these contracts, just like thousands of people go missing, a lot of powerful celebrities are part of this reptilian family. The sad part is a lot of governments around the world know what's happening and know why people keep going missing, but they're scared to say anything, and they allow this to continue. So guess what? The Greys will continue to abduct people because they have a contract with the governments, and the reptilians will continue to eat people and take them underground. That's why so many people keep going missing, guys.
Now, I don't want to eat too much raw fish, but I love the sauce. Even though the one, hold on. Even though the one, Hold on. Even though the one. I hate humans. Humans I hate. I hate humans. Humans I hate.
Reptilians have been often on planet well before the human species. They're three-dimensional on their own planet, but they also are able to project into their astral, as humans can. You can astral project.
Yep.
And by doing so, they're able to move into the human species astral realm as well. Because I think that, I was thinking about today, that the astral realms actually line up on the same sort of frequency.
I just had this conversation recently with the Pleiadians and the Andromedans. They actually told me that I was going up on the ship that night. And I said, well, can I remember any of it? And they're like, nope. They're like, nope, because, well, it'll be very shocking. But also, they don't want to give us too much because then we won't want to come back down to Earth.
You don't. I mean, when you're in there, you don't. I mean, I've consciously visited the ships a couple of times.
What is going on in Hollywood? Satanism is at an all-time high.
Upset, like, it was terrible. Niku's dad went to visit him in the nursery and started recording him crying through the window when he captured this. The video appears to show a nurse roughly picking up Nico, slamming him face first back into the bassinet.
I don't know, it just broke me. I didn't know what to do.
Whoa. Whoa.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I just got pushed over there. You saw that?
I saw it.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel that?
Yeah.
Reptilians caught on camera. You must see.
Ozzy.
What?
Good evening, Ozzy.
Hello there.
How are you?
Fine.
Reptilians and Draco, the blood sacrifices, the whole Luciferian thing, the kids being killed and eaten. I mean, that humans have been eaten and taken off planet, et cetera, and used for slaves in other colonies, etc.
I hate to say that, but that's far worse than what you've just said.
It's far worse.
Yes, far worse.
Far worse, yeah.
And that the whole blood situation is it's unbelievable, and
right.
I don't know how we say that to the public.
Real life reptilians caught on camera, Part 1.
That's the most sacred thing we have. We know how elections go in this country.
What the fuck is that? That is not a lens flare.
What is going on, man? This guy's face.
Investigations.
What?
I did not see something widespread.
What's wrong with him? Oh, they cut him off.
Widespread. Bye.
On 38, they are reporting that there's a person who used a counterfeit bill in the business. Suspect is a black male, 6 foot or taller.
Watch Justin Bieber's eyes, reptilian. Watch. Ooh.
Don't skip, this is extremely important. A friend of mine used to use drugs. They're definitely a way to access the spirit world, but it allows doors to open for demon manipulation. Accessing the spirit world is only good without the use of drugs, if Jesus allows it, to cast out demons in his name. But anyway, she had told me a time where she saw reptilian-like spirits manipulating people's thoughts to think evil things or to be away from Christ. She explained the way they looked to me, saying they were yellow and black, or white and black, and they had spots all over them. So when I saw these videos, I remembered what she told me. See how he touches his face and it goes away.
Okay. She obviously hasn't seen the show.
People have been nice, and they're not attacking your dad or his policies to you.
Well, I met with my job. I work for UNICEF, which is an amazing organization that works in over 150 countries. And my job was to meet with teenagers who were living in exclusion, who were living in extreme poverty or living with HIV, and write their stories, listen to their stories and write them for UNICEF. And so, I mean, I obviously learned so much from these kids. I learned from Anna in particular, who has lived an extremely difficult life. I learned to live each day to its fullest.
Doing any kind of missionary work, I think, really changes a person. And you and your sister had a little bit, I mean, you guys weren't Paris Hilton, but you had a little bit of a reputation as party girls. Do you think this changed you?
The victim in this case was also arrested here back on September 18th.
He moves away from the camera because the cameraman tells him he's changing.
What they see happened here on campus earlier this month. Unfortunately, we weren't able to reach the school district for comment, but keep in mind, a mother and daughter baffled over how a...
It predicts how much longer they'll live. Sick, I know, but I also know you want to hear what she has to say. The doc says if these people don't get help or straighten up fast,
creepy
I haven't read any of this. Brittany won't make it to the age 30, Lindsay won't see 25, and Michael Jackson has no more than 5 years left. At the other end, Angelina's going to have a long, healthy life, and so will George Bush and Nicole Richie.
If you're not already bipolar,
I hear yelling in the booth. Are they yelling at me for the way I read that?
You did great.
Okay.
They're yelling because it doesn't have control of its sheets.
Lisa yelling.
Give her a break. She didn't read it earlier. She doesn't know this.
In the temple of that religion, and the father was the priest there, what would you think?
Lizard head. Reptile eyes.
Yeah, maybe having more fucking force contacts. Take the body with us,
Satan offered Jesus all the kingdoms of the world when he was tempted. Satan has control of this earth until Jesus' second coming. Be careful, be aware.
That is not a fucking person!
What? Norman, talk to me. What do you see? What's going on? George, come in. George, it's immediate. Norman, what's going on?
Okay, I'm here. Set it down.
Gonna take a moment. Grab it like, yeah, hold it. Okay.